What's up? What's up? So, just gonna wait a couple of seconds for people to log on. As always, when we're playing, got my Dallas Cowboys mug, got my hat. Still can't figure out the lighting situation. Shout out to my sister, my nieces, and my nephew. So today, I usually rock some sports gear on Sunday mornings when I do these Sunday sermons. And so my sister Bonnie lives in Mississippi. So University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. I have a niece, Maida, who is there right now just crushing it. She's been crushing life for quite a while. Just a massive leader. And from what I understand, my other niece, her younger sister, will be headed to Ole Miss next year. So just grind away, ladies. Grind away, okay? Keep chasing the dream. And we'll get to that in a second. So wanted to give another shout out because if you know something about me, you'll know that I love supporting local business. And so yesterday, shout out to Spencer too, Ivanko. So my son, I started coaching my son's team and basically co-coaching with Spencer and his son Bentley and my son are starting to become really good friends. And through the course of that, Spencer and I are beginning to build a friendship also. And I need guys like that in my life, guys that I can talk to about real stuff, guys that are that'll pray for me, that really care about me and how I'm doing. So. So we went to Chicha Brewing yesterday. Guys, if you're in the West Salem area, okay, and you're looking for a place to eat that has incredible tacos, incredible ceviche, which by the way had salmon in it yesterday, stuff just like blows up in your mouth, it's incredible. But just a brand new business located there in West Salem, Chicha Brewing, Xicha. Go there because the food will blow your mind. The service is great. They're just getting kind of their legs under them, and so what a great business. I definitely wanted to give them a shout out because I had some barbacoa tacos and it was just like incredible. And so anyways. So you'll notice that the title of the sermon today, the Sunday sermon, if you will, which if you're logged on for the first time, this isn't a commitment to delivering a religious message every week. That's not what this is about, okay? Sunday sermon to me, this is week 9, by the way. It really is just, it was a way for me to kind of get out of a pit that I was in where, you know, if you've ever been in a pit, one of the first things that comes with being in a pit in life is you don't feel qualified to do much, especially giving to others. And there's so much to be said about how you get filled when you just commit to selfless acts. Also, when I started engaging in conversations with people, I realized how much people are really suffering, like people are struggling. And regardless of the condition of your life, what we all will always be connected together with is by suffering and trauma. We all have it, okay? So here, let's get to the meat of today. If you notice, the title today is called, Did You Quit on the Dream? Or have you quit on the dream? So what does that mean? My son is 6 years old, okay? He has a dream already. His dream right now is to be a Beyblade master, okay? A Beyblade world champion. So these little devices, got a pull string kind of deal to them. They spin, you battle in these little rings. We spend a lot of time battling, and I spend a lot of time ordering new Beyblades. So does Avon. And so that's his dream. And I know when he shares a dream, I know as a father, and you hopefully by now know as a parent, that our role is not to decide when someone shares a dream if it's real or not, or if it can be possible, or if it can, now barring negative things, if my son starts talking about wanting to be a drug dealer, we'll have a different conversation. So there are dreams that I think we can nurture to the point of being quittable, if you will, right? So not all dreams. And some of you may have an argument for that one. I don't, so I'm not going to go there. But I know that my job is to nurture that. What can I do to nurture the dream? What can I don't have to listen to his ideas of his life and decide, oh, I don't know about that one, Papa. I don't think so. Let's talk about a different dream. And the reason I don't like that is because maybe a lot of you who are watching this, you know that that really is one of the fundamental crises in this country. Is every single one of us, as we were growing older, had a dream. And it becomes very unfortunate if you grew up in a culture like I did, where people that I was surrounded around were just absolute dream crushers. That every single time you shared a vision, they were deciding how to swat it away by telling you that's not for you. I don't know. You know, people used to say, you're from Woodburn, man. That dream's a little too big, Holmes. You know, and it was just, that's what people do. People are dream crushers. And I have to say this right from the get-go. Whether it is you that's a dream crusher or you who are the victim of dream crushers, here's the good news. The good news is when you share a dream about your life, a vision for yourself, something that's just out there that you get really excited to go chase, something that you're really passionate about. Anytime somebody says, whoa, are you sure about that's pretty big? What they're really saying is, hey, I don't really believe that that's possible in my life because of my limitations. Therefore, I can't believe it in you. People who crush dreams, they're not crushing your dreams based on your potential and your abilities. They're crushing dreams based on their inabilities and their lack of seeing the potential in their life. It's never had anything to do with you. But what's happening in this life is people are coasting, and what we all have in common is from the day we're born, as we're coasting through this life, what we have in common is we all have a dream. But what's separating people is the age at which they quit. Some people quit, are overwhelmed by negativity in their life, and they quit by the time life is even getting started. I have worked with kids who, by not only have they quit on their dreams, but who by the age of 13, 14, 15, 16 years old have been so negatively bashed, so negatively overwhelmed, so just broken and just beaten down with them believing they don't have value, to the point where I've worked with young kids like that who at one point just decided to end life altogether. So the conversation, it's worth having the conversation of how detrimental dream crushers really are. Because sometimes you're not only taking away a person's vision or dream for their life, you're actually contributing to the end of life as they know it. Good morning, Connie. Love you. Dream crushers. And so what I want to attempt to do today is, if you are already activated in your vision and your dream, then I want to be here to nurture that. If you're finding yourself in a place where you're looking back and you can see that the dream was quit on 10, 15 years ago, we need to restore that. We need to get that back. That's what we need to do. So the question you have to ask yourself first, and be honest, is, have I quit on my dream? What was it? What is causing me now to continue to quit? Is it age? By the way, age doesn't mean nothing. Nothing. There's my sister Bonnie. Love you too. Thanks for the awesome shirt. What's up, Vicky? So, the question we have to ask ourselves is, where am I in my dream, right? They say 97% of the people who quit on their dream are working for the 3% that didn't. Renee's in the house. Woodburn, Jervis, what's up? What's up, Renee? Miss you. The 97% of people who quit on their dream are working for the 3% that didn't. And so let's talk about that 97% pocket and what it looks like before we get into the 3%. So here's what happens. We get to this place of, this is where I am. So think about the critical areas of your life, whether it's your finances, whether it's your family relationships, whether it's broken relationships, whether it's your attitude. And by the way, you'll know a lot of your satisfaction level with your work life by how you feel on Monday mornings. If you're finding that you're regularly, just consistently posting those crazy, downtrodden, negative infused Monday memes, that's not a reflection of your job. That's a reflection oftentimes of the condition of us. See, what people believe is, oh man, when finances are struggling and relationships are struggling and this area of my life is struggling and career is struggling and so on and so forth, those are the things that are influencing your being and your spirit. It's not true, guys. It's not true. The condition of our being is what's influencing the level of those things. Those things struggle when we're struggling. Now, why is that good news? Well, here's why. See, if it was those 5 or 6 areas of your life that were always the determining factors of how you're feeling, then the bad news is you don't have a lot of control in changing those things. You can't go to your job and say, yo, listen up, everybody. You guys suck lately, okay? And it's affecting me. So starting today, unsuck yourselves so that I can become better. It won't work that way. Now, if you try that at your workplace, get video footage, okay? Because I would love to see that, right? I'm sure the world would love to see that. But it's not how it works. You can't go into all these broken relationships and suffering and say, guys, get it together so that I can get better. You can't do that. You can, but the results are really working against you because you have very little control of those external things. And so I know that it hurts to say that those things, if they are suffering, it's a reflection of your own suffering. I know that it stings at first, but feel empowered, because if this is the problem, then this is the solution. And if you want to start problem solving areas of life, you can have a lot of control on the change that happens with you rather than those things. And so the way we shift out of that life of pointing at those areas of life and suffering and hoping that those things start changing so that someday we can feel better, rather than that, let's start with today. So if the question is, did you quit on the dream? Then rather than looking at where you are today, the question isn't, where am I currently? The question is, where must I be? Where must I be? Shout out to my niece, Mayra. Love that shirt too. Thanks for the shirt, Mia. Mwah. Love you. Where must I be? If you decided to reactivate the dream, what would that look like in your life today? And I'm encouraging you guys to sit down and write this out. To really carve out time and to sit down and say, if my answer to the question, have I quit on the dream? Is it yes? And as a result, I've been suffering and just not in a place, I'm so unsatisfied with so many areas of life, then you must sit yourself down and figure out where you must be. And will it be in a month from now? Will it be 6 months from now? Will it be a year from now? Where must you be? Because if you say, well, where would I like to be? That sounds so wishy-washy. It sounds so non-committal. It sounds so still up in the air. So you're still vulnerable to not doing it. So don't ask the question, where would I like to be? Or what would be nice if in a year from now I was? Where must I be? And I talked a little bit about that last week. And so what would that look like? What does the new dream in your life look like? And you'd be saying, man, Wally, I don't know, because I don't feel very successful right now. Well, let's end with this, because I'm making a commitment to keeping these shorter. I was reading an article recently, and I remember I was not feeling very successful. There was things in my life similar to what I'm talking about today that just felt like I was, like, different areas of life were just suffering, and I didn't feel great. The only thing I could hang on to, honestly, was I still feel like I'm a pretty good dad. I still feel like I can grow this business, but so many areas of other areas of my life, I couldn't look in the mirror and say, wow, bro, you're crushing it. I couldn't. I felt very unsuccessful. And maybe from the time that you quit on your dream until today, you're feeling unsuccessful as well. And so how do we get that back? So if you say yes to any of these 7 questions, you're actually experiencing more success than you think. So here's the first question for you. It's from a really good article that I was reading in Inc. magazine. Go Cowboys, baby. Shout out to Quinn Burke. Love that guy. Incredible human being. Incredible human being, Quinn. And Quinn, by the way, I hung out with Ashley Hackett yesterday. We had coffee. So just friendships. It's been such a great weekend of friendships. And so I appreciate Ashley Hackett as well. I got to hang out with Aaron Reber last night as we watched our Ducks get crushed, but we won't talk about that. So here's the first question. If you can answer yes to any of these questions, hopefully this is the starting point of starting to experience some success. And now I see Jerron logging on. This is like the #1 Cowboys trash talker. And by the way, he's a suffering San Francisco 49ers fan. Praying for you, Holmes. Praying for you, Holmes. All right. So here's the first question to understand if you're actually experiencing more success than you think. Do you have close friends? Do you have close friends? And by the way, as time goes by, you're getting, it's actually more rare to have close friends. Okay? Like literally, it's just, so if you have precious friends, and you answered yes to that, you're more successful than you think, because very few people do. Okay. The second question I would ask, or you can ask yourself, is do I have the power to choose people around me? See, one of the hardest decisions I ever made, let me say this. I never decided to eliminate negative people from my life. I never walked up to people on the streets and in the gangs or drug users. I never walked up to anybody and said, hey, you, I'm doing life right now, so you need to get the heck out of mine. I've never done that. I've never dismissed people from my life. The only decision I made that was the hardest decision to make was I had to dismiss myself consciously from negativity. See, if you're finding yourself in this pattern where you're constantly talking about how these people and friends are always letting you down, sooner or later, you just need new ones. You are not tied to that group of people. See, if you had a chance to live 10, 15 lives, maybe 2 or 3 lives waste away with people, but guys, we get one shot. As Gary Vaynerchuk talks about a lot, you get one at bat, man. That's all we get, one at bat. So you don't have time to not be able to choose your friends and choose the people around you. And you may say, oh man, but you don't know, dude, a lot of it's family. What? Is it a condition that family has to treat you like crap? No, it's not. It's not. So can you choose the people around you? If you answered yes, you're more successful than you think. Okay, here's another question. Do I have enough money to make positive choices? Do you have enough money to make positive choices? It doesn't cost a lot to make positive choices. That I know. Okay, I made a $15 decision yesterday at Chicha Brewing, and I don't regret it one bit. I am craving those barbacoa tacos still. Okay? Do you have enough money to make positive choices? I see a lot of people right now answering yes to these questions. That's incredible, right? Camping. I'm a camper. I always forget stuff when I go camping because I'm not an expert, right? But camping is an incredible example of just having a little bit of money to do some really fun things, right? And I know most people in this country live paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of people have to decide really make critical decisions monthly on what it is that they buy. And a lot of people don't have that, right? But do you set aside and have extra resources to just make positive choices? Failure. Do you see failure? How do you see failure? Do you see failure as a thing that's supposed to overwhelm you and break you down and make you feel like you're less of a person than what you really are? Or do you see failure as training? Do you see failure as training? Do you see the mistakes you make, the stumbles, the relationships that don't last, the job that didn't work out? Do you see those? Do you see failures as training? Because you should. Failure sucks, right? It's traumatic. It affects us emotionally, mentally. But do you know that you never grow when things are going great? You grow. You right now, your growth, making it this far in life, is a direct result of your growth in times of failure. You get better with failure when you perceive it that way. See failure as training. What am I supposed to be learning here? Okay? That's real personal for me. Coming out of a broken relationship, I need time for myself. I need to see what's going on in here and what's going on in here. I don't have time for a loud life. Okay? I don't have time for that. I have to figure out how to grow through this for myself, for my son, for my business, for the community, and how I interact and involve myself in it. Failure is training, guys. Isn't that empowering? Am I a giver? See, I know a lot of people who struggle, but you will find a lot of those people involved in the community, serving, just giving to people. Right? That's one of my most favorite scriptures in the Bible, when you have the guy this dude that's got mass amounts of money, and he's like, here's a quarter, pretty much, compared to what his fortune was. And then you have this woman who had literally a couple of pennies and said, take it all. Take it all. Are you a giver? If you answered yes, you're more successful than you think. Here's the sixth question. Do I put other people in the spotlight? You have no idea. This one gets me so stoked. You have no idea how mentally strong and successful you are when you put other people in the spotlight. Now, what does that look like in a successful relationship or marriage? Guys, if you walk into a room and within minutes or seconds, people know that your wife or your significant other or whoever your significant other is, if you walk into a room and you intentionally put her in the spotlight, people know that she's the queen of your life. What an incredible thing to do. Or when you walk into a room, is your significant other or your kids, are they the butt of all your jokes? Because if your family, if the people in your life that you are supposed to be loving, if they are the ass of all of your jokes just so you can feel better, then that's not very successful and that's not strong-minded. But do you put other people in the spotlight? Do you enjoy seeing other people be successful? If you don't, build that capacity. When somebody shares good news of some incredible trip they took or something really great that they happened, do you secretly wish that that didn't happen? Because that's the opposite of this. Celebrate people in the spotlight. Celebrate people in the spotlight. When something awesome is happening in their life, celebrate that for them. Want them to win. See, that's how you become a successful person, is by having a strong desire to see other people succeed. And if you have that, what a wonderful thing. And if you don't, build it. Build it. Cheer people on, even in your own suffering. The way that comes back into your life, it comes back tenfold. You become a different human being. Courtney says, yes, be everyone's best cheerleader. Celebrate everyone. Amen to that. And the last question, do I feel a real sense of purpose? Do you feel a real sense of purpose? And hopefully that's what we're transitioning out of when we started this message. Have you quit on the dream? So how do we undo that? I think we answered deeply that last question. Do you have a sense of purpose still? How much longer can you get up, go into the job you don't like? How much longer can you tolerate those conversations you have in your head where you begin to feel guilty about how you've been talking to your kids? How you've been treating your spouse? How you've been treating people in your relationships? How long can we go on saying, gosh, dang it, I need to quit yelling at them. I need to quit cussing at this person. I need to quit going to work every day on a Monday, waiting for Wednesday so I can post a happy hump day. We're almost there, guys. And then Friday comes like, Friday's here. Yes. But it sucks because now I'm 2 days away from Monday again. I mean, what a psychological crisis where we're waiting for this 5-day stretch to end just so we can enjoy 2 days. Guys, wouldn't you rather be actively engaged back in your purpose, back in your dream, so that Monday is just like Thursday? So you've got 7 days every week that you enjoy. 7 days every week that you love your kids with the same way with $2 in their bank account in the way you would if there was $1.85 million in your bank account. Where you just have a 7-day stretch where your happiness is tied to yourself, your purpose, and being activated in your dream. That your emotions and your attitude don't change when it's connected to a Monday versus a Saturday. Where you are well. How do we activate us back into our dream? And what does that look like? Guys, it's been really awesome spending time with you today. I appreciate all of you. One quick note. So I've been talking a lot about doing this 2.5-day men's retreat. I'm thinking January, and I've been kind of exploring options at the coast also, just so that we don't run into any weather issues trying to get over the pass, because I really wanted to do this in Central Oregon, but it may not work out that way. But I got somebody that's getting back to me on some contacts at the coast. And so we need to do this, guys. We need some strategic planning. We need some individual strategic planning. We need some relationship planning, some relationship goals, marriage goals, life goals, career goals, activating ourselves back into the dream. Guys, have a wonderful Sunday. Go Cowboys. Be a blessing to family, and enjoy today. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day.